So, Chris, how are you doing? How's India treating you?
Yeah, it's okay. Thanks. The IPL is in the mix of things. We're nearly halfway through the tournament now, so it's going pretty well for my team as well. So yeah, enjoying it. Thanks. Very good.
Good stuff. So, how does it feel to finally debut for Delhi Capitals?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, really. Obviously, didn't quite make it out to the tournament last year. Had a few things going on at home, so it didn't quite work out. But great to finally be here and be amongst the team. It's a really good group of players. We've got a strong squad, and working under a legend of the game in Ricky Ponting as head coach is quite surreal, really. So I'm enjoying myself. It's been good.
I'm so glad to hear that. So, are you going to win Delhi Capitals the title this year?
Oh, I hope so. I was earlier, the teams are, every team is strong. You look along the every squad list in the IPL teams, and there's no weak teams. So I think anyone can win it, but hopefully it's our year.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. You guys were close last year as well. Right. So, you mentioned Ricky Ponting. I mean, how does it feel to be coached by him, and his speeches and his words of advice to you guys? It's quite something. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Ricky.
Yeah, it's been good. It's the first time I've really met him. So we're kind of still getting used to knowing each other. But I've really enjoyed working under him so far. He's been, he's got an aura about him. He's obviously a legend of the game. Being an Australian player as an Englishman myself, a lot of him growing up. And he was always looking quite angry on the field.
Always.
As captain. So it does feel a bit strange, obviously working under him as him being head coach, but it's also, really intriguing. He's a nice guy. He isn't always angry, I can assure you that. I've enjoyed, picking up a few tips off him, picking his brains. He's obviously got a really good cricket knowledge brain, and I'm still kind of tapping into that knowledge. But it's a bit surreal having him working as head coach and me as a player underneath him. But I'm really enjoying it so far. It's been good.
I'm sure. And like you mentioned, we're in the middle of the season. I mean, have the matches been the way that you've expected or imagined them to be, or has it been something just completely different for you?
No, it's kind of as you'd expect. I've obviously had experience of IPL before, and I know how demanding the games can be. They're very intense. World's best coming up against the world's best. There's always difficult moments in the games, and you're always coming up against the world's best players. So there's no easy games. And exactly the same this year. We've got off to a decent start, but as I said, anyone can beat anyone. So you can't go into any game being complacent. So we're sat in a good position, but we've got some really important games coming up.
Yeah, and I think with a T20, it's such a tournament where it just goes either way. It can go any way for any team. And I think that's the beauty of the IPL. And I think that's really, really lovely. And I think that's what keeps the excitement going. It's really nice for that. Now, it's been such a shame that Ben Stokes, he was unable to play. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. Ben's had to head home. But him being one of the the big signings of the IPL, he's a world-class player. He's one of the big players. You want the world's best playing in this tournament. So it is a shame for Rajasthan's team, because it'll be a big loss to them. But more also a shame for Ben. He's going to have a little bit of time out now. Obviously, he's had surgery on that finger, I believe. So it's going to be a bit of a journey back for him to get fit. But he'll come back stronger, I'm sure. And he's he's a world-class player, and England will want him fit as well. So I hope he get back fit for the England games.
Fingers crossed. So, Chris, is it tough? Would you say it's tough being an all-rounder, given that you're expected to perform with the bat and the ball as well?
Yeah, that comes part and parcel of the job, really. It's something which I've got used to over the years. Being an all-rounder, you are expected to perform with both aspects of your game. But that's the way I like it. I don't like to be sat doing nothing. So I quite enjoy the fact that you're always kind of in the action. You're always kind of expected to perform. But it creates great opportunities for you to go out there and do well for your team. So I quite like that sort of side to things. Really, I like having that pressure, I suppose.
Yeah. And what would you say has been your biggest career highlight so far?
Well, I mean, it's hard to beat 2019 World Cup win, really. Yeah, an English player playing in a World Cup at home.
Yeah.
Fine. It doesn't get much better than that. So,
yeah.
Easy one.
Yeah, I mean that every time, like, we're passing with friends, family, you just end up talking about cricket, and then you just have to mention that Cricket World Cup game. I mean, it was just unbelievable, wasn't it? I think there must be so many memories attached for you with that. I mean, just even today, like, years later, you're just like, what a win was that?
Yeah, I mean, you've kind of hit the nail on the head there, because actually it's still, when I think about that game in particular, it's still surreal as to what exactly happened. And I'm still not completely sure it's completely sunk in nearly 2 years later. So an incredible moment, and just really grateful that we actually managed to get over the line somehow. An incredible game of cricket. A lot better than neutral, I think, than anyone involved or emotionally involved. It wasn't gave people a few heart attacks, I think.
Oh, definitely. My God. Definitely a great game of cricket in that tournament, that was. What would you say is your favourite form of cricket, Chris? Like, we've got ODI, T20, Test. I mean, it must be hard because, obviously cricket is cricket at the end of the day, but there's so many different forms of it now. So what would you say is your favourite form?
Yeah, it's a question you get asked a lot, actually. What's your favourite format? But I still can't find it hard to kind of nail one down. But I've got love for all formats. But I think me growing up as a child watching cricket, it was always, majority of the time, it was always Test cricket what I watched. The game that I originally fell in love with. So I still say that Test cricket's probably my favourite. My number one. But the white ball formats are very, very close behind it. I love any form of cricket. It could be kids cricket in the park, which I love as well. So as long as we're playing with a bat and ball, it's the main thing.
Yeah, that's it. It really doesn't matter, does it? Now, Chris, let's talk about the 100 tournament. Again, that's a different form of cricket as well. For those who are listening and watching this, who will be, just explain a little bit about how it works and exactly what the format is for that.
Yeah, so the new 100 competition, it's a new competition. It's completely new. I suppose the best way to put it is it's very close to T20 cricket.
Yeah.
But it's 100 balls. It's as simple as it does exactly what it says on the tin. Each team faces 100 balls, and whoever gets the most runs at the end of the game wins. It's a slightly different format in terms of how it's actually delivered. Each bowler, can only bowl a maximum of 20 balls, but they can bowl 5 balls at a time. Right. But I think the most important thing is the fact that it's 100 balls. It's quick. It's fast. It's a fast-paced game. It'll be entertaining. I'm sure there'll be a lot of 4s and 6s hit, which, from a bowler's point of view, isn't ideal. But yeah, I think it'll be an exciting tournament, and it will be the world's best playing against each other. And whenever we see that, it's a great spectacle. So it's really exciting. I'm excited to be a part of Birmingham Phoenix, which is my local team. Obviously playing at Edgbaston, which is my home anyway. Yeah. So really exciting tournament, which I'm really pleased that I'm going to be a part of.
No, I'm glad. And do you think that this particular form of cricket is going to be well received from fans and audiences and cricket lovers?
Yeah, I think it will. I think what I've said there with regards to the world's best playing against each other, we've seen in other tournaments around the world, the IPL, the Big Bash League in Australia, the T20 Blast to a certain extent in England, don't have as many overseas players in that tournament. So I think the more world-class players we can get playing against each other always brings out the best cricket. And I know as a professional sportsman, when you step onto the field, it doesn't matter who you're playing for, you kind of get competitive and you want to win. And when you get the world's best doing that against each other, it creates a great spectacle. So I think it'll be great, yeah.
And what are your views on cricket being changed over the years? You know, you've touched upon Test cricket being your favourite, and you know we've touched upon the IPL, it being quite quick and fast paced, and with the 100 as well. I mean, you know, then you have a certain amount of people who say, "Oh, cricket will always be a gentleman's game," but now over the years, cricket has changed so much. I mean, do you think it's changed for the good?
Yeah, definitely changed for the good. 100%. I think you know, we've seen new tournaments come into the game. It attracts new audiences. The game's become more diverse. You know, the women's game is certainly getting stronger and stronger. So you touched on the fact of being a gentleman's game. It certainly isn't anymore. You know,
Yeah.
which is great. It's inclusive for everyone. You know, and we're seeing these tournaments around the world also doing the same thing for the women's game. You know, so you know, hopefully these new tournaments, particularly the 100, can attract you know, more children to play the game, boys and girls. And I think it's an exciting time for cricket. I really do. I think cricket's, you know, in a really strong position. We can try and reach out to as many new people to watch and to play the game as possible. And I think we're moving in the right direction with that.
Definitely so. And just touching upon, you paid a little visit to your school a little while ago. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was in India, so it had to be over Zoom. It would have been nice to be able to do it, you know, in person, in the flesh.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was really nice to be able to go down memory lane and go back to my old primary school, and hopefully inspire some of the children there to realise that you can make a career out of cricket. You know, but more importantly, just to try and, I suppose, inspire them to take up the sport. You know, I was, you know, a young child once who just kind of wanted to play sport as much as possible. You know, I had older brothers that played cricket, which was one of the main reasons why I got into it. You know, and that's where I really fell in love with the game. You know, but I look back at those moments when I played cricket, and it was mainly to be outside, be active, be with my friends, socialise, and those were the reasons why I started the game. And started the sport. So hopefully, me speaking to the kids at my old primary school, even if it inspires a couple to pick up a bat and ball, then you know, it's job done, so to speak.
Yeah, why not? Definitely. Right, so before I let you go, Chris, let's do the predictions for the IPL. Who do you think is going to win this year?
Oh, well, I can't say anyone but the Delhi Capitals, can I really? I actually believe we've got a great team here and actually can go on to win it. So I'm not just saying that, but you know, I think we'll be close competition with probably a few other teams, I'm sure. But you know, Mumbai are always strong.
Always, aren't they?
Yeah, we need to knock them off their perch a little bit. You know, RCB are having a great year. Could that be the year they go on to win? Maybe. But no, I'm backing the Delhi Capitals to go all the way.
Me too. Look, my husband and my mum are both from Delhi, so Delhi all the way. Yeah. But listen, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking to us. You know, you guys are doing amazing out there. I know it's really difficult with a bio bubble and not seeing your family, and just, you know, it's just a weird time. But, you know, thank you for bringing us the sport. Thank you for keeping us entertained. We really appreciate that. We know it's equally not easy for you guys as well, but keep it going, and we look forward to seeing you back here in England and seeing you back on the field.
Cool. Thanks very much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.